Hey, Edinburg, let me hear you make some noise. Now, by applause, how many of you guys heard of Coast to Coast AM? Well, here's your guy. Put your hands together for Mr. George Noory. Come on, let's hear it. Take the roof off this place.
Well, am I on? Hello there, Edinburg. I'm over here. Hello, Ruben. Noe. I always like to do these informally. You don't want me behind the podium, do you? This is what it would look like if I did it behind the podium. Because Noe's not moving. Sit down, Noe, just like you were doing your thing. So I'd be doing my speech like this. I don't want to do that. By the way, could you make it a little hotter for us? Whoa! You know, I go back and forth between Los Angeles and St. Louis. St. Louis is hot and muggy in the summer, but not like this. This is truly unbelievable. What did it hit today? Did anybody get the temperature? Was it over 100? Is it this way all the time? How do you people do it? You are? My God. Well, Tom and I landed from Los Angeles. We went to Dallas. And from Dallas, we went to McAllen. And McAllen's a neat airport, by the way. It's very functional. You get through. And the only thing we ever ask for these events that we go to all around the country is to have somebody pick us up. That's fair, isn't it? Don't want to have to rent a car, drive. We don't know where we're going. So we did. We landed in McAllen and we said, hey, we'll just go to baggage claim. Normally we carry on and we'll get our driver and whisk us to Edinburg. Maybe our plane landed too early. I'm not sure. Because we waited 20 minutes, at least. No driver. I mean, I don't need a limo or anything. Just pick me up and get me to where I'm going to be. That's all I ask. 30 minutes into it, I'm saying, Tom, we really got to get going. It's getting late. What are we going to do? Tom has lost all his contact phone numbers. He doesn't have them with him. So he said, we're going to have to take a bus. That's my producer. He's sharp, isn't he? Take a bus. So we go outside. We get hit with this sweltering heat. If it wasn't because I wanted to meet all of you, we would have gotten back on the plane and went back to Los Angeles. And here comes the bus. It says Edinburg right at the top. And he says, well, okay, we're just going to get us to where we want. So we get on the bus, sit down right in the front by the driver, and off we go. We realize we're in a senior citizens bus. They're on a tour of Edinburg. What the heck is in Edinburg for a tour? There's the CVS pharmacy. Look, that's where they're going to build a Dave & Buster next year. So while we're in this bus, getting to our hotel, this 90-year-old woman is in the back seat, hobbling her way to the front where the driver is, giving him a handful of peanuts that he pops down his mouth, and she goes back. Folks, this happens 3 to 4 times. She gets up, hobbles over, God love her, hands peanuts to the driver, he eats them. She goes back. Tom and I are looking at each other going, what have we done? The fifth time, she's done this 4. The fifth time, even the driver is a little suspicious of what's going on here. And he says, lady, can I ask you a question? And she said, yes. He said, my gosh, you've done this 4 times, now 5. Don't you like peanuts? She said, oh, we love peanuts. We just don't have any teeth, so we suck the chocolate off it first. Oh. That was our introduction to Edinburg. Thank you, Ruben, for the invite. How many of you are regular listeners of Coast to Coast? Whoa! It's about 80 share of the audience just here. Well, thank you. Pleased to announce that effective now, we are now on 615 radio stations across North America. About 600 in the United States, 15 in Canada. How many of you listen on Sirius XM? Okay, as you well know, as of last week, we switched to channel 146, just so you know. We used to be on 102, and so we're on that one now too. As we were coming up here, I said, you know what, I'm not going to just talk about UFOs today. So we did that on the panel, and the whole conference has been that way. And it's been a great conference, hasn't it? It's a fun time. We're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to answer your questions. But we're also going to talk about what the heck is happening to this planet today, which is, to me, the most important thing right now. Something is going on. People are uneasy. Do you sense it? Yeah. Everywhere you go. I think that's probably one of the reasons somebody like Donald Trump is so high in the polls. Now, you don't have to be embarrassed to tell us your political persuasion, but I'm curious. Show of hands. How many of you like Donald Trump? Look at that. It's amazing. And I would guess one of the reasons why you do is because he just is a straight shooter. Tells it the way he thinks. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He may not say the right things, but he talks, that's right. And he's not lying. He's telling you from the heart. And I think that's all any of us want right now. We just want it from the heart. How many of you are Hillary supporters?
She was here.
Stand up. There's Hillary's sister, Gladys. Gladys, how are you? It's good to see you. Hillary's got 1 or 2. That's her cousin over here. That's about it. I mean, do we really want Bill Clinton in office again? Jeez. How many of you are Jeb Bush supporters? Well, there's one just inching her fingers up just a little bit. Put her in shackles. I think people are simply tired of the same thing. So it's going to be an interesting, fascinating race. We've got John Hogan, our prophecy expert, on a little bit Monday. He has predicted, he has been right in 44 presidential elections. 44, right? Every 4 years you have one. So for the last, God knows, 40-some years in his life, he's been right. I should say the last 11, 44 years. That would have made him 306. He's old, but he's not that old. But he's been right in every last 11 elections. And he predicted on my program a year ago, he hasn't changed yet, I'm going to be interested to see what he says Monday night. It will be Hillary versus Jeb Bush. It will happen. And he hasn't changed his mind yet. I think he's wrong for the first time. But if he's not, if it becomes Hillary and Jeb Bush, and Gladys, you'll be going to the White House if she wins, it tells you that the machinery wins all the time. And it tells me that your vote is insignificant. You're absolutely right. They tell you who they want elected. They don't care whether it's Jeb Bush or Hillary Clinton. They just want one of them in. And that's what's going to happen. So with the Donald Trump situation, let's see what happens. Let's see how this unfolds. Because we're going to watch it very closely on Coast to Coast. We've got another person on Monday who, you've heard of the Merlin Project. They track things via computer. It's been very accurate. He's going to give us Donald Trump's time track and see how he's doing there. I suspect it'll be pretty good. But we'll find out. That's fascinating. But it tells me that Americans are frustrated with everything. They're tired. They're just not going to take it anymore. They're starting to put their foot down, saying enough is enough. And that's one of the things we're doing with Coast to Coast. Because this is your program, and all around the country we've heard people's voices saying, we love the paranormal. We love the stories about Bigfoot. We love life after death. We love the UFO stories. But how does that affect me? How does that affect my kids? So I sat down with Tom. I said, Tom, we got to keep tweaking things. You know, after 9/11, the world has changed. It's a different planet out there right now. We'll talk a little bit about that and some of our suspicions about that. So we've added these ingredients to the program. And I think it's made a world of difference. And I hope you like it that way too. Do you? Yeah. We're going to keep doing that. Stories that affect all our lives. Because, hey, quite frankly, we're not here for a long time. And you might as well make it the best you can and be happy doing it. Build that island around the people you like and care about and love, and make it a better planet for them. And that's the best I think we can all do as individuals. We're not going to change the entire planet all by ourselves. But each and every one of you can change what's happening in your own environment and your own life. And that, to me, that's worth it. It really is. But let's see how this all unfolds in the next election campaign. Because it's coming up, and it's coming up pretty darn fast. Let's also do some Q&A with you and answer any questions you may have. And did you want to do a meet and greet photo thing?
Yeah, we'll do it after. Let's play Ask George right now. So raise your hand if you want to ask George anything.
And don't be shy. Yes, sir. Just stand up, tell us where you're from, and fire away.
Over there, and I'll give you the mic.
That's right. Tommy will play the part of Phil Donahue, running through the audience.
I won't run, but maybe I will.
Thank you. My name is Manny, and I'm very honored to be able to ask you a question personally. I can't imagine what it's like to try to get on the phone with you on your show, so this is awesome.
We've got 8 phone lines. Tom's the one who answers the phone and puts people on hold. So if you whisper in his ear, he may give you the secret number. Slip of a 10, you'll get the secret number.
My question to you today, sir, is you hear a lot of the stories, and how much of it do you believe? Is that hearing the stories, is that what makes you believe, or have you personally encountered certain things that make you believe in a lot of what you hear?
One of the reasons we have not put a camera in the studio for the show, I just put it in for a pre-show that we do for the Coast Insiders. But one of the reasons we won't put a camera in there for is because I don't want you to see me rolling my eyes. What I always tell people when they ask me that question, Manny, is, what do you believe? It's not up to me. It's up to you. I want to be the one to facilitate the story. I want to be the one to get the great stories out of the individual. You know, I could be that kind of talk show host that slams down everything that comes on, like, oh, really? You saw a UFO and it landed in your backyard? Ha, you're nuts, hang up. But that's not what the show is. The show is the interest of the person who has seen their dead grandmother, who has witnessed Bigfoot standing by the side of a lake. So what I believe really isn't that important. Do I believe every story that I get when they call? No, of course not. But do I believe some of it? Yes. Some of it is really thought-provoking and makes you wonder.